I found an old message from my brother. I'm an only child. 4 nights ago, I realized something was horribly wrong. My life felt incomplete, like someone had erased something from existence. I sat down at my desk and stared at a notebook I found in the back of a drawer, a notebook filled with a letter. A letter from someone calling himself Danny, my little brother. The thing is, I don't have a brother. I'm an only child. As I read on, Danny's message unfolds like both a confession and a farewell. He tells me he calls me Ben, that he doesn't know when it started, but that something has been eating away at his life. He describes a time not too long ago when he and his wife Grace had just moved into a new house, and their son Wyatt had his own room for the first time. It all felt hopeful, a new chapter, a real home. But Danny says that world is gone now. He explains how he snuck out to retrieve the remaining boxes from his old apartment, he'd forgotten his keys, and that set off a chain of strange events. When he went to ask Michael, the security guard at their old complex, for help, Michael told him there's no Daniel Ward living there anymore. That's the first time Danny realized something was off. His name, his presence, his identity all starting to feel erased. He locked himself inside his house, panicked, clutching a gun. Grace and their son Wyatt were terrified. For a while, they just stayed awake, lights on, listening for sounds. But then, everything fell apart. One night, Wyatt's crib, his toys, everything just vanished. There was no trace of him. Danny's world shattered. Grace, hysterical, began having terrible visions or sounds of their son, but she couldn't make sense of them. The house felt bare, blank, like their memories were being shredded. At some point, she attacked him, he blacked out, and when he woke, the house was stripped clean of photos, clothes, furniture, like their life was unmade. He fled. He left before nightfall, clutching any cash he could find, checking into a motel outside town. But the terror followed. He could hear Grace or something like her knocking and scratching at his motel door, begging to get in. The voice sounded wrong, distorted, desperate. Eventually, he called me. I picked up, surprised. I thought I'd forgotten some parts of his voice, or maybe he'd changed. But then I realized the truth. He's gone, or maybe he never was. He told me about this amazing girl, his beautiful wife, and his little boy Wyatt. He told me about his good job and our old home, how he always wanted us to be together. And when I asked why he was crying, he simply said, I love you. Then, here's where it gets even more twisted. He asked me for a favor. He told me to write what he'd written in my own handwriting, to keep it somewhere, because as long as someone remembered his story, even in someone else's hand, maybe he could keep living. Not in this life, but somehow, as a character in the fiction he'd created. And if I did that for him, he said, he'd go on living. He signed off. Love you forever, your little brother Danny.